Hello, 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 good people. How's it going today? Great. I hope you are having a wonderful Thursday and we'll have an even better Friday. So let's get into it. My topic today we're talking about is how I transition to a plant-based diet. How did I give up the meat, the eggs, the dairy, the cheese? Well, let's get into it. First of all, let me say this. Nobody really wants to have to do that. Well, there are some who may, but I didn't want to have to do that. I was loving the meat, the egg, the cheese, and the dairy. I truly was. My mom was the cooking in the house. She formed that palate. I enjoyed eating those foods. But at some point, I looked and I saw all the chronic lifestyle diseases that my family was developing. Because at that point, I was fine. My body was compensating for all the things that I was sabotaging it with. But gradually, I'm looking at my parents, my other family members, my aunts, my uncles, develop high blood pressure. That's how it usually starts. Insulin resistant, diabetes, heart disease, obesity, autoimmune disease. I saw their health just plummeting. And this was despite the idea that they had good doctors. They were taking the meds that they were prescribed to take. And they had made some variations, so some changes in their diet. But still, their health was going downhill. And guess what? Eventually, when I started getting into my 40s and then into my 50s, my health started to do the same thing. I started going downhill. I started to developing the same problems, those same chronic lifestyle diseases that they had. That's when I realized that the problem was not the lack of good health care, not the lack of good medicine or supplements. The problem was what I was putting in my mouth. And so I had to make a change if I wanted to lose weight, if I wanted to regain my life back. I had to make some changes. And so that's what I did. And I'm going to talk to you about 3 very important things I did to turn my health around in order to, and also to lose weight. But before I do that, let me introduce myself because I have some new followers who may not know me. I am Charlotte of Charlotte's Coaching Corner. What I do is that I help people who are struggling with obesity, especially morbid obesity, to lose weight and regain their health by transitioning to a whole food plant-based diet. Even those who may not have weight problems, when they transition to a whole food plant-based diet, their health in most occasions, many times, improves. So I'm here to help you to do that. I'm here to help you to make that transition to a whole food plant-based diet. I did it. I improved my health, lost over 100 pounds. So let's get into it. What are the 3 things I did? I say 3 and I'm really going to give you 4. Okay? The first thing that you have to deal with when you're talking about losing weight is your thinking, because this is where weight loss begins. So I had to change my way of thinking. I had to do things in order to develop self-discipline or willpower, because even if you feel that you don't have it, you can develop it. There are things that you can do to help you to develop that willpower and that self-discipline. And that's what I discuss in my signature program. I talked about, or not talked about, but I also developed emotional intelligence. In other words, the ability to make good decisions even when I'm emotionally charged. Because as you know, most of the time we make bad decisions because of our emotions. When we get emotionally charged, we make all kinds of decisions that are not usually very good. I also worked on the things that were triggering my emotional eating. I looked at things or patterns that were contributing to my overeating. So that's the first thing I did. I worked on the thinking. I worked on the mind. The second thing was making the actual transition. Okay? So one of the things I did is that I started to improve, or not improve, but I started to eat more and more vegetables, especially green leafy vegetables. In fact, I even eat vegetables, as many of you guys know, I eat vegetables in the morning for breakfast. That's how I get my day started. after that, I started to eliminate meat from one meal, excuse me, one meal each day. So for a whole week, for breakfast, I would not have any meat. Then the second week, I would have no meat for lunch. Then the third week, I would eliminate meat at dinner. Now, understand, some people are able to do this very quickly. And if you are, that is really good. Because the quicker you do it, the better it is actually for you. You know, because you're not teasing those taste buds, so to speak. But if you can't do it, don't feel bad. Still try to make that gradual change. So then, but when I was making that changes, believe me, I got off track, especially with cheese. Oh my goodness, I love cheese. I used to love it because cheese is also very addictive. It really is. But the thing is when I got off track, I didn't beat myself up. I just didn't give up. So if you do get off track, get back on the train and continue to move forward. Now the third thing, guys, if you're going to do it gradually like that, give it time. Because what has to happen is that your taste buds have to change. They say anywhere from 14 to 21 days, and that all depends on the person and how quickly they make the change. That's why I said that if a person is able to do it overnight, and some people have been able to do it overnight, that's good, because what's going to happen, that taste for the meat, egg, cheese, and dairy is going to dissipate quicker. But if it doesn't, give yourself time. Give yourself time for those taste buds to change. And gradually what's going to happen, and I'm here to testify to that, is that you're going to start craving kale. You're going to start craving green leafy vegetables because you crave what you eat. So once you start making that change and eating those good foods that are good and healthy for the body, those are going to be the things that you crave. Now the fourth one is kind of a fourth one. But listen, I did all of those things, but I didn't do them by myself. I got help. Because I found myself getting off track so much until I knew that I couldn't do it by myself, that I needed some kind of guidance. So that's my advice for you. If you find yourself struggling with it, if you find yourself getting off track, then get the help you need. Because you can do good by yourself, but you do your best with help. So guys, listen, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you again next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for another interesting topic. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, follow me, or better yet, click for a free consultation. Until then, thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.